A woman can be one of two things in a man's life. She can be his pillar, or she can become his prison. There is no neutral. And most men don't realize the kind of relationship they're in until they don't recognize themselves anymore. Let me be very clear about what this video is not. This is not an attack on good women. This is not bitterness. This is a warning to men, and it's meant to bring them clarity. This is a video calling out the type of woman who destroys a man's life quietly and gradually, often while telling him she loves him. A man should never enter a relationship looking to be completed, because loneliness compromises frame, and that's how his power gets handed away. He must enter that relationship as a whole man, already grounded in his own frame. He has his values, his identity, his sense of direction, his discernment. A woman doesn't create that. She either strengthens it or she erodes it. And the most dangerous relationships aren't always explosive. They don't start with screaming or chaos. They start with small compromises. At first, these sound harmless. Why do you have to do it that way? Can you tone that down? I just don't feel safe when you act like that. Real men would handle this differently. And slowly, a man starts changing and letting go of his standards, all because he's trying to keep the peace. And this is where the prison is built. A woman who is a pillar does not compete with a man. She doesn't try to control him. She doesn't criticize his every move. She doesn't need to dominate him or the emotional atmosphere of the relationship. She supports his direction, even when it's uncomfortable. She brings calm, not constant evaluation. She brings warmth, not criticism disguised as communication. She brings a love and acceptance that a man can feel in his bones. When a man comes home and opens that front door, he should feel relief, not tension. He should feel like he can breathe and exhale because his home is a safe place, not a place he's about to be cross-examined. But a woman who becomes a prison does something very specific. She turns the relationship into a performance review. Nothing is ever quite enough. Everything is up for discussion. Every decision is questioned. Every boundary is challenged. And if the man pushes back, he's labeled emotionally unavailable, toxic, immature, afraid of growth. Notice how those words work. They're not about solving a problem. They're about controlling behavior. This is how men lose themselves over and over again. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly through accommodation. He stops saying what he thinks. He stops trusting his instincts. He stops doing the things that make him feel grounded and whole. And one day, he looks at his life and thinks, I don't even recognize myself anymore. That's not love. That's erosion. A pillar builds a man. This kind of woman makes him stronger in the world, not smaller inside the relationship. She doesn't punish his independence. She doesn't resent his discipline. She doesn't require him to sacrifice his peace and desires so she can feel secure. She understands something critical. A strong man is not a threat. He is an asset. A woman who is a prison, on the other hand, works by guilt. If you loved me, you would. If you cared, you wouldn't need. If you were really committed, you'd stop. And slowly the man learns, peace only exists when he complies. That is not partnership. That is control and conditioning. Let me say this clearly because men need permission to hear it. You are never obligated to stay in a relationship that costs you your identity. You are not selfish for choosing peace. You are not broken for walking away. You are strong for refusing to be managed. A man who leaves a relationship like this didn't fail. He escaped. No relationship is worth a man's mental or physical health. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. Some women don't want to build a relationship. They want leverage. They want emotional authority. They want compliance framed as growth. They want leadership without responsibility. And men pay for that with their spirit. A woman who is a pillar asks, "How can I support the man you're becoming?" A woman who is a prison asks, "Why aren't you becoming who I want you to be?" That difference is crucial, and it matters. Everything hinges on it. So ask yourself honestly, do you feel stronger in your life because of this relationship? Or do you feel like a shell of yourself? Do you feel respected or managed? Do you feel grounded or constantly on edge? Because love should not feel like surveillance, and commitment should not feel like confinement. A man doesn't need a woman to feel whole or complete. She can't complete him. She can only strengthen what already exists or slowly tear it down. The wrong woman doesn't just distract a man. She dismantles him quietly. And the right woman? She doesn't trap him. She stands beside him, steady, solid, and unthreatened by his strength. The difference between a pillar and a prison is simple. One helps build a man, the other slowly breaks him. And every man needs to know which one he's investing in, because prison is never worth the cost. Never ignore your nervous system. It knows before your mind does, and it never lies. Be the best man you can be and honor yourself. Never allow the wrong woman to erode the life you were meant to live. She either builds with you or she breaks you. And no man should ever volunteer to be broken.